Hello, BFFs, and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Crystal with a K, and on my channel, we discuss all of the things, including, but not limited to, lifestyle, beauty, fashion, travel, luxury, the culture. We just get into all of the fabulous things. So if that is something that you're interested in, tune into this video and follow me here on YouTube. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. White nails and champagne on IG. Today's video is going to be on travel. This is a highly requested video because, you know, my name is Crystal with a K, AKA White Nails and Champagne, AKA Vacation Bay. So I am gonna be talking about travel and the top 5 cities to visit domestically. Domestically for me is the United States of America, Estados Unidos. I live in the United States, in North America. For people that's watching this video all around the world, that is what I mean by domestic. So today's video, I'm going to be focused on places to visit in the United States, the top 5 I think you should visit for summer. The world is slightly open, so we're loving that. Yay, big clap for everybody that made it through. We're in May 2021. Hopefully we are seeing the end to, you know, everything that's been going on the last year and a half, and we're heading back to some normalcy. I see a lot of places are open. I currently live in California, and California is opening up, and that was where it was pretty much hit the hardest in our country. I know I go back and forth between the East and the West, and on the East Coast, things are open. So really looking forward to traveling, and I want you guys to know where the best places are to go this summer. So let's get right into it. Just to get this out of the way, because I know you guys are gonna ask, I am wearing a Zara top. It is old, but I will try to link something similar below. Old Bermuda shorts from Express. It's part of a suit. They get them every year. I'll try to link something. Jewelry, my Hermes taupe click bracelet, some earrings from Eloquy, the jumbo hoops. These rings were gifted, and my Oscar de la Renta initial necklace. And I think that's it. So let's get right into it. Traveling domestically to me is like an extreme sport. I pretty much go somewhere once a month pre-pandemic. That's just the way my life was set up. It's what made me happy. So I'm very, very lucky to have been able to go to these places and curate all of these different restaurants and shopping excursions. And now I've compiled them. And I think I've got a pretty good list over the last, I would say, decade of what my favorite places are to visit in the summer. As you guys may know, I am a summer baby. Shout out to all my Cancers. So the summer is very important to me because that's when my birthday is. And the first place, or the 5th place, which I'm putting in number 5, is actually going to be a state, because that state has so much to offer in the summer. Not a biased choice, but that's California. The reason I say California is because depending on where you are in your life and what you like when you go on vacation, that's why I couldn't really pick one city. So I picked a few, and the first one is California, and that's a state. So that's number 5. And I say that because Southern California, where I live, Los Angeles, San Diego, Palm Springs, that has a lot to offer, from partying, dining, shopping, adventures with the family. You have Disneyland, you know, that's in Southern California, about an hour outside of LA, the Santa Clarita area. Disneyland, of course, is known for being one of the happiest places in the world. And, you know, that's a family vacation. You can come there, kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you have somebody to watch the kids and also do some of the fun adult activities in that area. Then you have Palm Springs, which I personally think is the best place for a girls trip. Beautiful homes, great for Instagram shots, and just being in the desert and being secluded, getting that peace, that manifestation vibe going. You have San Diego, very family friendly. They have the flower fields, which I totally love, in Carlsbad. Then of course there's Los Angeles. Okay, shout out to everybody in LA. You have Beverly Hills, you have downtown, you have so much to do, from hiking, restaurants, sporting events, water events, museums, tours, Hollywood Walk of Fame. The list goes on of all the things you could do in California. So Southern California is a great place to visit because the temperatures aren't too hot. It's you know, all year round tourism. So you're going to be able to get great deals. You're going to be able to see a lot and whatever you prefer to do, whether it be outdoor activity or indoor activity, activities with children, girls trip, everybody can be accommodated. So California, definitely a wonderful place to visit domestically as number 5. Also for California, there's Northern California. There's Napa Valley. If you're a little bit more mature and sophisticated and you want to do a wine trip, it could be maybe a couple's trip. It could be a vacation. It could be a girls trip. A bachelorette party that's wanting to be a little bit more low key and keep things cute and do the little wine and the the cheeses and the bread and the tour. That's very cute too. That's also a vibe. So you have Napa, San Francisco, most expensive place to live domestically to rent. There's San Francisco. One of my really good friends lives there, and they have so much to offer. Tech industry is there. So much, interesting, new, what's happening is in San Francisco. So just California in general, if you can visit any part of it during the summer, you're gonna love it. I do live there, so I am kind of biased, but it's number 5. So moving right along to number 4 on my list. This place is very near and dear to my heart. It's actually the last trip I took, and that is to Houston, Texas. Now, Houston does get extremely hot. However, Houston's heat is different from like the East Coast heat where I grew up. Houston just has plain old heat. It's not humid, it's hot, and then at night it cools down. It's very straightforward. So yes, it's hot, but I mean, it's summer, and Houston has probably the most hospitable people outside of, you know what? I'm just going to say it. Houston has the most hospitable people. They are just so nice, so friendly, so inviting, and every single place you go, it's the same energy. I absolutely love that. I'm a big vibes girl. If you know me, you know the vibe is just my zhuzh. So going there and visiting, I have family there. I have a lot of family there. I have a lot of friends from college, a lot of good girlfriends that I've met in my 20s. They live in Houston because you just get a lot of bang for your buck in Houston as far as cost of living. And a lot of things are very inexpensive. We were going to dinners and just to different places. Ballet was like $6. I'm like, okay, that would be 20 in, California or in DC. And the lobster and all the things that I like to eat because I am a fake pescatarian, it was just very inexpensive, and I was, pleasantly surprised. So, getting a bang for your buck is also, great when we want to travel, because travel is expensive, especially now in this, COVID era. Travel is just astronomical. But in Houston, you get great food, great shopping, lots of adventure, lots of sightseeing, amazing museums, a lot to do with children. They have a lot of children activities from museums and parks. They have a lot of adult activities. The restaurants are endless. If you love Tex-Mex, it's right next to Mexico. So they have amazing, authentic Tex-Mex. You can get margaritas in the drive-thru. I think that's before COVID. So they've been doing like to-go drinks. There's just so many different options in Texas. And again, that inviting, welcoming vibe is just amazing when you're on vacation, because in my opinion, vacation is about relaxation and just enjoying the fruits of your labor. So I don't really want to do much on vacation other than unwind, eat, shop, chill, and then go home and worry about my problems and everything else I got going on later. So Houston is definitely fun. Lots of great people, lots of great food, lots of great parties, a lot to offer for anybody of any age. So I definitely recommend Houston as well as my number 4 place to visit domestically during the summertime. Moving along to number 3, this place also very near and dear to my heart. As you may know, I lived in the District of Columbia for 5 years plus before I took my talents out west. So Washington, D.C. is my number 3 place to visit during the summer, spring season. Now, Washington, D.C., aka DMV, D.C., Maryland, Virginia, has to be one of my just top 5 places in the world. And it's just such a culture-rich area. And the DMV, that's DC, Maryland, Virginia. People always ask me what that means. DC is only 10 miles long. So the greater DC area is what people mean when they see DMV. So if you see somebody talking about DC, that's what they mean, or DMV. And Northern Virginia and, the Southern Maryland area, they just combined with DC just make this really, really, really one of a kind place in the US that I think everybody should visit once in their lifetime. I mean, obviously the White House is there, the most important house in America. That's where they chose for our government to be. And it just has so much history, so many historical, monumental, beautiful buildings and sculptures and landmarks. And then the shopping is amazing. You have everything from Tysons to City Center to the Pentagon Mall, F Street shopping, downtown shopping, shopping in Maryland. You have casinos, the MGM. You have National Harbor. You have the aquarium. You have, sports teams there. There's basketball, the Wizards. There's football, the Washington football team. There's hockey, the Capitals. There's baseball, the Nationals. And, there's so many different competitions that go to DC, so many different events that go to DC because it is the district. So many people can come from, the north and the south and meet in the middle. And it's just a great area. You can go to the beach in Maryland. You can come down to the beach in Virginia. You just have so many different options. And DC is somewhere that can make every single type of person, age-wise, personality-wise, happy because there's something for everybody. So definitely one of my favorite places in the world. Definitely a great place to visit in the summer. Again, not too hot. It doesn't get crazy like the South. It does get hot, but it's very doable heat. And, I just think you must go before you leave this earth to Washington, D.C. You will not regret it. If you guys have any suggestions, don't forget to leave them down below on places to visit in DC, Houston, California, or the next two places I'm about to say. Just always keep DC in the back of your mind. I love them so much. Some of my favorite places I'll tell you to visit is Tysons Galleria for shopping. I love it so much. That's no secret. For brunch, I love Founding Farmers. It is a gem. I think it got voted best brunch in the city like 3 years in a row. Matchbox, another favorite restaurant. Everybody knows I love their crab soup. There's Mastros. There's Del Fresco's. There's Joe's. There is the Martin Luther King sculpture for visiting. If you want to visit monuments, there's the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument. There's Art Tech House if you're into art and technology. That's a really cool exhibit. The list just goes on and things change all the time, but I love DC so much. If you guys can't tell, I'm going on and on about it. So let's move on. Again, if you have any questions, just ask me below. Follow me on Instagram, ask me there, because I just know everything about DC. I feel like I have the key to that city. Moving on to the number 2. This was really, really, really hard for me to make number 2 because this is quite possibly my favorite vacation of all time. And it was for my 31st birthday, and we went to the Hamptons in New York. So it was really hard for me to make this number 2, but I'm going to say this is number 2, and that's the Hamptons. New York in general. I'm originally from New York. Shout outs to Brooklyn. Love New York. That's home state. Just, it's always going to have a special place in the heart. In my heart, that's the city that made me. But the Hamptons, which is Long Island, that's on Long Island. It's cultivated little cities about 90 minutes from the city, 90 minutes from New York City. It has to be the most serene, rich, vibey area that I've ever been to. And I've been some places, okay? But the Hamptons was just such an accomplishment for me because I've always wanted to go there since I was little. Being from New York, everybody that kind of made it visits the Hampton in the summers and they get a summer house. So my whole life, I've always wanted a summer house. An adolescent girl watching Sex and the City, Carrie and the girls went to a summer house, for a few seasons. And it's just such a tradition and something that I really wanted to do and I really wanted to accomplish. So my friends and I, we went for my 31st birthday. I think it was 11 of us. We got this beautiful house and we ate at all of the places, the lobster roll, which was one of my favorite shows. The show was centered around that restaurant. We went there. So it was kind of emotional for me because it was a huge accomplishment, but I had so much fun along the way. Every single person on that trip said it was one of the best trips of their life because we barely wanted to leave the house. It was just so beautiful. We had so much land. We had a pool. It was a mansion. It was a very big house. And we got it on Airbnb, and it was in East Hampton. So there's East Hampton, Montauk, Southampton, West Hampton, Sag Harbor, just different cities that make up the Hamptons. We stayed in East Hampton, great location. I also suggest Sag Harbor, but it was just so much to do. It was so much to see, definitely a lot of green, a lot of grass, but it was just, I can't explain how beautiful it was and how it made me feel. And I think that's why I'm making it number 2, because it just made me feel so good, because travel gets a little redundant for me because I travel so much. So when a city makes me feel like that, I'm all about sentiments and, nostalgia. I really just really loved the Hamptons, and my friends, everybody felt that way. It was 11 or 12 of us, and we had a friend who had a friend that lived there, and he came by the house and ended up staying with us. So, I think if you are into that, getting a house with your girls and your friends or your guys, and just having a very, very intimate, fun, memorable time, you will enjoy the Hamptons. Places to go, the lobster roll. We ate at the American Hotel for my birthday dinner. The best service I've ever received in my life. Amazing free champagne upon entry, and just a top tier waiter. Love him so much. Of course, you can go down to the water. There's DTLAz to eat. That's a really popular place. It's so much to do. You can go into town, Levain Bakery, to go to the cookie shop. Amazing bakery. Even the grocery store was fun. We went to the grocery store to get food for the house, and that was like a highlight of the trip. So it just goes to show how much fun we really had, and how great of a city it is. I definitely think it's worth it. Even if you go to New York and you go to the city for like a 4-day trip, you can take a day to go to the Hamptons, or you can do it vice versa. You can spend a day in the city and then spend the 3 days in the Hamptons. That's what I did. And that's what I will continue to do, because when the world allows me to, I plan on getting a summer house there every summer. But it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's a place, they call it the end of the world. So it's kind of like, once you have made it to the Hamptons, you've made it, because on the beach, it has the sign that says, welcome to Montauk, the Hamptons, and it says the end of the world, because it's the very tip of the United States for the New York portion of it, all the way east. Just a beautiful place. I enjoyed myself. One of the best birthdays ever. Shouts to all my girls and guys that were on that trip, because I really enjoyed you. And I'm solid. I feel good now that I put it in number 2. So that's my number 2 pick, the Hamptons, New York. And New York City's in there too, because it's only 90 minutes away. So finally, my very, very, very favorite city of the summer. And if you follow me on Instagram or any other platform, this is not going to be a surprise, because this city only gets 100 days of summer. And that's Chicago. So Chicago is the city of the summer, in my opinion. And this is coming from someone who is originally a New Yorker, grew up pretty much in the East Coast, all up and down, and lives in California. And loves Europe. But the city of the summer domestically for me is just, without a doubt, Chicago. That city is just so beautiful and has so much to offer in the summer. And Chicago is, notorious for their windy weather and their windy climates. So in the summertime, they pull out all the stops, because they only get 100 days of summer. So that, that's from when it feels like summer to when it feels like summer's ending, which is around Memorial Day to right before Labor Day, because when I went in August, it was already getting into the 50s at night. So they truly only get 100 days of summer weather. And there is just such a spirit about this city. So many great people represent that city. You have Jordan, you have Oprah, you have Kanye West. It's just a city of greats. And from the food to the shopping, okay, next level. The shopping in Chicago, a Magnificent Mile, Michigan Avenue, is some of the best shopping in the world to me. And I've shopped in Paris. So say that's a big statement there. It is just the best Zara, the best Apple store, the best TJ Maxx, the best everything. I love it so much. The Willis Tower, the Sky Deck, such a great thing to do. You go up all the way. It's so many floors. It's like the third highest building in the world, and you stand over the Sky Deck and you're so scared. But that was so fun. I experienced that with my best friend. And, you know, it's just a city that you know, lives for summer. They treat you very well. The hospitality is amazing during the summer because they only get 100 days. It's really windy and cold and nobody's coming out of the house in the fall and winter months. So definitely want to visit Chicago if you enjoy shopping, if you enjoy good food, and if you enjoy great excursions and great, you know, museums and things to do. Chicago's your city. It's a great price point because Chicago is in the center of the US. They're in the Midwest. No matter where you're coming from, it's a pretty reasonable flight normally when things are amplified because of COVID, but it's a great city. I mean, I can't say enough good things about that city. I have met so many amazing people who I love so much. They're from Chicago. I've visited twice. I plan to visit again, but even with just my 2 visits, I fell in love with it. The food is amazing. They have all types of food from American to, you know, Asian. There's the deep dish pizza that they're known for, which I actually don't even like, but I don't kill me, all my Chicago people. It's me saying I don't like deep dish, but I'm just saying that's what they're known for, and that's not what I mean when I say food. I've tried, you know, steak houses there that were amazing. I've tried sushi there that was amazing. I've had, you know, American, just food on the street is even good. So definitely visit Chicago. If you are a summer baby like me and you enjoy summer and you just want something that, you know, somewhere you've never been, somewhere that's affordable, it's great for the family, it's great for girls trips, bachelorette trips. Their hotels are just amazing. People really put money into Chicago. They have some of the most beautiful interiors in their hotels. The people who stage their hotels just are like interior goals. So, and of course, I cannot say enough about Michigan Avenue and shopping because it's just the best everything. Like their TJ Maxx, it glitters when you walk in. Like the sign glitters, you know, it is sparkling. It's so beautiful. The Zara is like so amazing. So I definitely think Chicago is my favorite place to visit in the summer. You guys would absolutely love it. I have no doubt. And that's my top pick. I really do feel confident about that being my top pick. So I know that's going to surprise some people. I know some people thought this list might be a little bit different, but yeah, that's my list. So 5, we had California, which has the southern part and the northern part. There's Napa, there's LA, there's San Diego, there's Palm Springs. Then for number 4, we had Houston, Texas, my hospitable people down there. Great Tex-Mex, great times. Number 3, we had Washington, D.C., my third home away from home. Love it so much. That is your museum hub. That is your culture hub for the history of America and all things. Number 2, my favorite vacation of all time, which was the Hamptons in New York and Long Island. Number 1, Chicago, the city of the summer. So that is my top 5 domestic destinations for the spring and summer 2021 edition. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far, BFF, I'm so glad you did. Follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notifications here. Leave some suggestions for videos for me to do. I'm back. I'm feeling good. I'm charged up. We're going to try to keep this thing consistent. And we're just going to keep on pushing forward. So as always, thank you guys so much for being here and always supporting me in all things that I do. I'm going to catch you on my next one. Bye.